folks, and welcome to Garbage Theater. Tonight's installment, Warriors of the Wasteland. I'm your host, Chase, with my co-hosts, Blake and John.
Finally a good movie. Sort of.
Yeah, let's get this not-so-shit show on the road this time.
Yeah.
I mean, don't get me wrong, it was a bad movie, but...
Oh, yeah. But quite enjoyable, though.
Yeah.
I think that if this movie would have been in last season, it would have been toward the bottom. But since it's this season, it's actually pretty good.
We had some bad ones this season.
Yeah.
It's been pretty bad.
Jesus Christ. Oh, okay, well... As I told my co-host before we started recording, I have just as many notes on this as I did for Atlantic Rim, so we got to get moving.
Yep.
So let's jump right into it. We open up to a cardboard city being devastated by a nuclear blast with a totally rockin' synth soundtrack.
Yeah, I was digging the music.
I was like,
oh shit, feeling this groove.
Super into the music on this one.
Yeah, it wasn't that bad.
It's just that it's like that Italian like prog shit. I mean, it sounds like everything from this era in Italian film sounds like Goblin, basically.
Yeah, pretty much. Which you can't go wrong with Goblin.
No, it's not Goblin, but
it's not Goblin.
Kind of sounds like Goblin.
Yeah, we know what you're saying. Fast forward to the post-apocalyptic future as we see desiccated corpses strewn about the landscape. And it's good to know that an important feature on a woman's radiation suit is to make the breasts bare and exposed into translucent goldfish balls.
Yeah. Well, that's how you know.
The best.
Why?
This is so good. I don't know. They got these little booby bubbles.
They're translucent.
Yeah.
Oh,
you gotta get sun on those things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's revealed that the year is 2019. Oh no.
Yeah, it's getting pretty close.
Yeah.
Hope nobody fucks up those peace talks in Korea, gentlemen. I haven't stockpiled nearly enough cod pieces. I'm not ready for this.
Oh, dude, you gotta get your cod piece game going. You're screwed.
So many cod pieces. In the distance, there's a caravan of vehicles parked in a circle. Good to know handlebar mustaches survived in the nuclear holocaust. So,
right.
Hipsters. So, yeah, it is next year. It's accurate.
Yeah. It's the one resource they seem to have plenty of. Just mustache.
You know what else they seem to have plenty of? And it's been a running theme throughout all of our movies lately. Dryer vents.
I was just going to say.
Holy shit, dude.
So many dryer hoses.
Stock and dryer vent hoses went up like big time in Italy around this period.
Every movie we watched has some sort of dryer vent hose or just dryer parts somewhere in the decor.
Well, at least we know they could build giant shitty robots in the future.
Yeah. When we first cut to the future, after the devastation, it like pulls out of some kind of cockpit.
Yeah.
And I was like, man, that's the set of a Project Armada bot. It was like the same shit. Just a bunch of useless switches and some dryer hoses.
Slap it all on there. We meet this character, Amos, who's distributing future soup to the survivors, who complain that there's less and less of it every day. But Amos wouldn't have it any other way, god damn it. So it's really interesting how in the Wasteland of 2019, and it's revealed later in the movie that the world ended in 2010. It's only been 9 years. But it's nothing but 82 Oldsmobiles as far as the eye can see. This, no even semblance of any kind of future car.
It's the most, only the strong survive, Chase.
So Mustache gets a signal on his radio, and everyone gathers around to hear. Amos says for a signal to reach them, that here, all the way out here, it would take a solar radio that's at least 1 million megawatts strong. It's a super solar radio.
That sounds like bullshit to me.
Yeah, it sounds like a lot of bullshit numbers.
1,000,000 megawatts.
That's probably what caused the apocalypse.
Someone turned on their 1,000,000 megawatt radio, blew up the planet.
One of the elders wishes, oh, if only everything could go back to the way it was. Cue the bad guys. A line of Wasteland vehicles travel along the ridge of the valley overlooking the survivors. More stupid haircuts and facial hair, so still accurate to the timeline.
These assault vehicles are terrible.
Yeah.
Oh, so bad.
They're like totally open, so like anybody can get shot at any time.
Yeah.
And they're all just standing outside, like just standing up in these open air vehicles, driving slowly. Anybody can pick them off at any time.
We're to believe that, okay, the nameless rabble of survivors have actual cars, while the badass, rulers of the Wasteland have improvised vehicles made out of golf carts and aluminum foil.
Right.
I mean, one of their leaders' steering wheel looks like a pizza tray, for Christ's sake.
It's terrible. It's terrible. He can't even get a good grip on the steering wheel like that.
The lookout spots them and warns the others to get into their positions behind the old Chryslers and Plymouths. And here come the Templars. And one of the head Templars waves, and his minions go forward, and their power wheels whir into an intimidating fury.
But they go so slow. And it's just like they're just driving circles around a camp at least 10 times before they actually make their attack. Mm-hmm. And everybody has guns in the camp.
Oh, yeah.
Like you could have just shot every one of these people.
Oh, yeah. They all hold their fire, and they say, hold your fire till they're closer. Well, they can't get much closer than they are.
Right.
Any closer and they'd be behind you. So, and like you said, they have zero protection. Some of them are standing up completely exposed out of their vehicles. Turns out the leader is the one that's standing up just hanging out of the goddamn vehicle.
It's not a tactical genius, this guy.
Yeah. So, Commander Haircut fires his future pistol that has a satisfying pew that takes out a survivor. No laser, no squib, no smoke. It's just a heart attack gun.
Yeah.
The survivors all open fire with their M16s that have seemingly been converted to future rifles because they all go pew-pew as well. It's all G.I. Joe technology. It's actual firearms, but they shoot bullshit.
Right.
I was like so confused at first. Like the Templars start popping off first, and they have little laser guns, and I'm like, okay, the Templars have science guns. Yeah. But then they cut to this other survivors with their very real guns, and they also are like pew 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 pew. I'm like, what the fuck is happening?
Like they could have added like parts and pieces to it to make it look more futuristic.
Yeah. Use some of those dryer hoses you got laying around.
Yeah.
So, and some of the guns just make the Templars leap from their own vehicles without even being hit.
There's one of them that makes someone leap from their vehicle, and then somehow it also, like, in some sort of strange time loop, 2 minutes later makes the same guy leap from his vehicle again.
That's a pretty
badass gun.
There's a bunch of that in this sequence. Yeah. I swear I saw like the same guy get killed 3 different times.
Oh, the same 3 survivers get killed over and over in this scene. That guy in the green jacket and the beret. Over and over.
That's the one. Poor bastard.
Future weapons suck.
So one of the Templars peels off and ramps his golf cart through the neatly stacked empty kegs that the survivors thought would serve as a good wall. Oh,
what's
my
up with
cans!
All the kegs laying around.
My cans! My precious antique cans! Look what you done to them!
It just hit me. Like on the jerk. Stay away from the cans!
The circling the wagons strategy really falls apart when you include ramps to the inside of the circle.
So the Templar that ramps in opens fire, and he blasts off Amos's face before he gets dispatched by the lookout himself, who then he gets blasted. The Templars really do like shooting people in the cheek. A lot of cheek shots throughout this entire movie. I guess it's a nice big piece of skin that you can slap a prosthetic on. So.
Yeah, but like, they get shot in the cheek, but nothing ever it breaks like the first 2 layers of skin, but doesn't really do anything else. But that kills them.
Yeah.
Go figure.
It's horseshit.
One of the biker Templars pulls an M80 out of his mom's jumpsuit that he's wearing and ramps over the entire camp, dropping the bomb and blasting those same 2 guys again.
This evil Knievel motherfucker ramps the entire thing? Yeah. He didn't even have that good of a lead up.
No. It was shitty.
Well, through slow motion, anything is possible.
Yeah.
Another Templar, we're going to call him Purple Hawk for now, parks his cart and reveals a secret weapon, a very, very, very slowly emerging RPG launcher. It takes a good 5 minutes to deploy. He blasts at the camp as 2 survivors make a run for it. Guess which 2? You got it! Those guys! Haircut runs down Mustache. That's a sentence I just said.
Yeah.
And I have to believe that Mustache, if he just applied himself, could have easily outrun that slow-ass cart. He's like jogging. He's mall walking in front of it. Haircut extends another weapon from his cart, a flamethrower, and cooks poor old Mustache alive. And I was thinking Go ahead. I was thinking that the giant javelin on the front of it would have been a much more economical way to take out one single guy in this supply-starved wasteland. But what the hell do I know?
Exactly. This part was really funny to me because, you see this big spear hanging out the front of the car, and he's clear. They showed shots of the car right behind him, and you're like, oh yeah, he's gonna get speared. And then instead he pulls up and stops in front of him and then extends another, the flamethrower slowly and then sets him on fire instead. Bait and switch.
Yeah. Purple Hawk continues to bomb the camp, laughing stupidly. His partner points out to him that there's a bird in flight in the distance. And Purple Hawk, we find out now that his name is Mako, if you want to go by his Christian name. Extends a whirling blade from the side of his cart and takes off after the other fleeing survivor. The survivor falls to the ground just as the cart reaches him, blade striking him in the neck, and his head just sort of flops down with a lump.
It was hilarious.
It was great.
All he had to do was lay down.
Yeah.
Yeah, he would have been fine.
So the Templars survey the destruction as Mako finds a Bible and tosses it to Haircut, a.k.a. Shadow. We know his name now, too.
Shadow, to me, he looked like a proto-Carl Urban.
That's a new one. We've had plenty of budgets, but we haven't had a proto yet.
Proto-Urban.
So, Shadow hands it to Highlights, who we find out is actually named One, and he's the leader of this whole thing. He rips the Bible in half and he says, "Books, that's what started this whole apocalypse." Okay.
I was like, what? It looked like bombs to me. But
I was saying, I'm pretty sure it was a bomb.
I thought it was that mega gigawatt radio.
I was also like, why are you guys so mad about it? You seem to be having a great time.
Yeah. So, One is the man in charge. Mako is second in command, something that Shadow doesn't approve of since he believes Mako to be a weakling, and he will never be king. And One says, it's only king of the desert, as the world raped itself. But I'm going to purify it with blood.
One thing, how does one rape itself?
Yeah. That's a damn good question.
I have a feeling that's going to be a running gag in this show.
Yeah.
But yeah, okay, yeah, he wants to world raped itself, which is the sentence that doesn't make sense. And then you want to purify it with blood and take revenge.
Yeah, the Templars are the ministers of revenge.
Against who? The world?
Because it raped itself.
Well, I'm glad we got that all cleared up.
It's so confusing.
So another Templar scout informs one that another group of crazies is coming through, and one orders them exterminated. Shadow tells one that he heard a signal coming over the survivors' radio, and that there's still civilization somewhere, but one will hear nothing of it. There's nothing anywhere, except for here, where we just killed all these people.
Yeah.
Cut to later that night, where I guess some primitive savages are salvaging the wrecked camp. They only speak in grunts and groans and are armored with shrink wrap. Just the costumes in this movie. Italian Apocalypse is notably lamer than Australian Apocalypse.
Super lamer.
I will say this, though. The Italians, even after the world ends, they still have high fashion down.
Yes. The Templars could just walk down the runway right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, those big shoulder pad looking things. I mean, it was like you could put that on Project Runway any week.
Chic. Fierce.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But yeah, who are these fucking plastic clad characters? Like what group of people like collectively decides that's their outfit?
What collective group of people forget how to speak in 9 years?
Well, there's a bunch of shit like that. I'm like, it's only been 9 years.
So
they apparently forgot who God was in 9 years.
We'll get to that. That's a whole thing.
We'll get to that.
They flee when a vehicle adorned with many a dryer hose and a roof bubble approaches the burning camp.
I got excited because I thought it was the Homer, the car that Homer designed.
A lone man gets out and approaches. He finds one of the survivors clinging to life and asks who did this. The scavengers attack him and he shoots them all dead before they can do anything. The last survivor asks him to put him out of his misery. He obliges and returns to his vehicle. Later, he arrives at a papier-mâché rock quarry as a mysterious slingshotter watches him. And that is one loud-ass slingshot.
Yes, it is.
It's like a shotgun. He takes cover as he exchanges fire with the mysterious attacker. He manages to wing them and they roll down the hill. And it turns out it's a little kid that the man apparently routinely has a friendly battle to the death with for chuckles. Yeah, why not?
Did they show what the kid was firing out of a slingshot?
No, explosive rocks.
I got all kind of munitions queries later.
Yeah,
that's one of them. Believe me.
Okay.
So the kid turns out, I'm just going to call him the kid because I don't know if they ever said a name.
I don't think they did.
He's the Wasteland's top mechanic. And the man asks him he's asked to fix the gear shift of the future mobile. He opens up the hood and says, "Well, sir, right ear's your problem." I just want to take a moment to apologize to every other human on Earth that's watched this movie and also made that very obvious and easy joke. I could not resist.
Oh my God.
For those who didn't watch the movie, the kid pulled an ear out of the engine bay.
Oh, man. So he gives the kid an hour to clean the ear flesh out of his car when another identical car seems to come roaring up, doing donuts like a maniac, only to reveal that it's the kid in his car. Wait at it, jackass!
It was a totally different car.
Yeah. That edit was bad.
Like, it made me think that there was another guy doing what that guy did.
Yeah, like the cops in Mad Max.
Yeah.
But no.
I will tell you this, though. All the car modifications in this movie made no sense.
Nope.
There's a camper van just covered in tinfoil. There's another truck that just has one of those plastic bubbles over the rim of it, like over the rim of the tire. Like, what the fuck's that going to do?
I don't know what any of the bubbles are for. I've never seen... Nobody ever uses them in any way.
They love the shit out of them bubbles.
The future has bubbles.
So many bubbles. It's frustrating because...
You're going to see in September when the 2019 models come out and they're covered in fucking bubbles.
It's just bubbles. Just look out bubbles. But like the car looked kind of cool other than the stupid bubble they put on it.
Well, yeah, it was a muscle car.
Like, nobody ever groundhogged up in the middle of that thing and used it. It was just there for no reason.
Yeah.
Never.
It would glow green at night.
Yeah.
That's
what I had in my notes. Nothing says stealth like a giant green glowing dome on the roof of your car.
So, the car repaired, the kid takes his payment of a high five, legal tender in the Wastelands.
Right.
Hell yeah.
Budget Mad Max is off. Later, the Templars are closing in on a van of sorts. It's the tinfoil van. Shadow uses his javelin finally to rip open the rear of the van and blast his flamethrower into it, and the occupants all dive out and flee on foot. Shadow runs down the biker from the Village People and finally uses the spear on his car to spear him in the chest with the javelin. It would happen eventually. Thank you for the payoff.
Finally.
Mako has his partner net a woman that's trying to escape and drags her around for fun, and we get some half-second cuts of Budget Mad Max's hood ornament to let us know that he's in the vicinity. The machine guns on the front of his car open fire and cut the rope dragging the woman. Some accurate hood-mounted machine guns.
Yeah.
She stands and watches in horror as the two vehicles drive past each other over and over again in a harrowing battle of stupid, slow chicken. The two vehicles square up to each other as Budget Mad Max politely waits for Mako to deploy his RPG. The woman, moronically, is just standing right in between the two vehicles about to ram into each other. I was really hoping that they'd go for comedic gold and just blow her apart like a goddamn Monty Python sketch.
That would have been pretty fantastic.
But that didn't happen. They charge each other, but Shadow guns his little engine that could car and gets in between them and stops the battle. Mako's pissed, and Shadow tells him that car would have ripped you to pieces, and he punches Mako out. Shadow approaches the other car, and we finally get a name. Scorpion! This movie was written by 12-year-olds. So, Shadow and Scorpion seem to have a history, as Shadow warns him that he'll have to inform one that he saw him. Scorpion presses a button on his joystick that opens the car door, and it's so lame. Why does he...
Useless, too.
He's got a little joystick, and he pushes the button, and the door just opens like a regular door, but it goes bzzz. So it's a future door. I don't have to lean over and open it.
He's got so many buttons in there. You could have gotten out
quicker. You could have gotten out so much faster if you just opened it normal.
Yeah. He tells the woman to get in. Shadow asks him how he's different from them as they both fight, kill, and rob. Scorpion reveals that the Templars' MO is to exterminate all life on the planet, further confusing their whole game plan.
Yeah, I don't know what they're up to.
They drive off as Scorpion puts on some music to set the mood. He plugs in a little acrylic cube that plays music.
That's what they thought we'd be like. That's how we thought we'd listen to music in the future.
I guess so.
What did they have then? Like 8 tracks?
Yeah,
probably. So this is like the future 8 tracks.
So, meanwhile, one is being informed that Scorpion is still alive as he shoots holes in random junk. Shadow is worried that he'll come for them and suggest a preemptive strike, but one believes this will only get most of them killed. And he reveals that he forgave Scorpion for making him look foolish and calling the Templars worse than animals. But has he forgiven him for being tougher than he is? What child wrote this?
I really like that one of them said, "Are you forgetting how ridiculous he made us look?" And I was just like, well, take off those fucking outfits. It's really easy.
Yeah, you guys kind of did that to yourselves.
Yeah. Shadow insists that they kill Scorpion, but that's not enough for one. He demands his pride and his soul. So I guess beggars can be choosers. We cut back to Scorpion and his lady friend driving the countryside. And who's that looking on in the distance? Oh yeah!
God damn. It's getting me hype right now.
It's Fred motherfucking Williamson. And then it cuts. That's it. Cuts away. Cut back to the Templars. We just see them for a second.
Did they have to have the slap bass going just because a black guy showed up?
You shut your mouth.
You shut your mouth. That was the most badass part of the movie. Mako and his little friend plan to go and kill Scorpion on their own, defying one. Mako plans on staging a coup against One in Shadow and taking over the Templars for himself. Back to Williamson. Decked out in his golden headband and infinity gauntlet, this is one bad mother son of a bitch. We cut away again. Later that night, Scorpion and Princess What's-Her-Name, we don't know who this person is yet either, they come to a stop. Things go downhill fast as Scorpion tells her that women are getting rare around these parts and starts tearing at her clothes. This is supposed to be our hero, right?
Yeah. It turns out, like, okay, you're in the middle of a wasteland. Like we said, supplies are scarce. You know, you're basically carrying everything that you need with you. But this dude keeps an inflatable stabbing cabin in the trunk in case he comes across a girl.
Oh, yeah. all future sex takes place in a prism of inflatable mattresses.
Yeah, it's hot as shit, dude.
Yeah.
So
it's lit entirely by your car's green bubble.
Yeah. He's ripping at her clothes, but he's just trying to get to her injured shoulder. Although I'm not quite sure that was his initial intention here.
No, I think it was. I think he's a good dude.
Yeah. He presses a piece of garbage on it, and we have an intense exchange of glances. And then boom goes the dynamite. We're straight off into it.
She's got crazy eyes, though.
Yeah. Well, she's the only woman in the whole movie, John. What are they going to do?
I don't know. I mean, she looks like a vampire from like another Italian movie. She's got that super sharp widow's peak. Her hair's all like, her hair's on point, super big, and then crazy eyes.
Also, like, okay, when they showed her injured shoulder, he's like, we need to find someone who knows medicine. Chick has a bruise on her shoulder.
Well, it could be broken.
Wow.
It
you
could
know what
be.
Lasers do to shoulders.
So they're banging inside the pile of those puffed up packaging bags, and there's the voiceover of Scorpion asking her about her background, and I'm not sure which of these events happened first, but who cares?
Yeah, a bit confusing.
Who cares? Because go ahead.
You get the impression that, like, so she thinks that he's going to rape her when he starts pulling out her clothes. Right. But then as soon as she realizes that he's not going to rape her, it's fucking on.
Yeah.
She's
I was confused by that.
Yeah. So that's happening. Someone's watching from the cliffside. Who is it? That's right. Fred Nope, cut away again.
You just get peaks.
They're just not going to let me have Fred Williamson in this movie. The next day, the Templars cut off Scorpion's car as they're heading out. One of the Templars shoots a sticky bomb onto the door of Scorpion's car, but fear not, he's got a handy-dandy button to launch the goddamn door off right back at the Templars.
Which that was actually, like, useful.
Why would that be installed?
It's super niche. I want to see this world's version of, like, Q, where he's, like, running down the cars. It's like, all right, Scorpion, this is the button that blows your doors off. Like, why the fuck would I need that?
In case someone sticks a bomb to it. So, Mako opens fire with his RPG and manages to run Scorpion off the road. Scorpion takes off on foot, charging the Templars. Mako's friend opens fire, and Scorpion rolls to the ground, raises his pistol, and holy fuck! His whole chest cavity just implodes as this shot hits in a gory mess that is fantastic.
That's the best. Man, that's the stuff right there. It was like right in that sweet spot of like good practical effect and also stupid looking dummy.
Yeah,
it was like beautiful.
Anytime you fill a dummy with corn syrup and blow it the fuck up, I don't care how bad the dummy looks. It's going to be awesome.
Yeah.
So another Templar catches Scorpion off guard as a blast causes him to drop his gun and make a run for it. Mako deploys his spinning blade and goes after him. But fear not, because Scorpion has a guardian angel. Finally, Fred Williamson. Fred comes out, knocks up an arrow from his perch atop a bombed-out tower, and lets it fly as he blasts a crater for Scorpion to dive into, avoiding the blade. A little convoluted, but I guess it worked.
Yeah. I was confused about what happened at first. I was like, hey, you missed. You almost killed Scorpion, as a matter of fact. But then I was like, oh, okay, I see what you guys are up to.
Yeah, I just wanted to interject here. Blake, how cool would it have been if instead of Fred Williamson, it was Bo Jackson?
Oh, whoa. My pants just got tight.
I mean, he's doing all the bow and arrow stuff.
He would do it a lot better, that's for sure.
Yeah. The movie would have been over in about 5 seconds.
The way he puts those... Okay, his Infinity Gauntlet has an assortment of arrowheads that allegedly do different things, but all of them just blow up.
He contemplates about which one to use often, but they all just explode.
It takes him 5 minutes to put the arrowhead onto the thing. It's a very slow process. And then, like, okay, the only reason you have a bow and arrow is so you can regain your ammunition back. Am I correct? But all his ammunition blows up. So
not a lot of strong logic there.
Yeah.
No, but the whole different colored arrowheads, that all of them just blow up. There's no rhyme or reason to it. And you're blowing up all your ammo. Where are you going to find more arrows?
I got no answers for you.
No.
All I know that this future is as plentiful with is mustaches and hair product.
Yeah. Everybody knows you can.
The future is ridiculous.
Everybody knows you can manufacture arrow shafts out of dryer hoses.
But this is true. So, you know what? It's not ridiculous. It's preposterous.
Yeah. It's Presquarius is what it is. So Scorpion jumps onto Mako's cart as it passes, and he kicks off the blade attachment, which wasn't on there very well. He gets into a deadly Indiana Jones style low-speed brawl atop the vehicle with Mako.
And why doesn't Mako just stop the car and fight him?
Yeah, he's really he's got to drive and fight him off. Yeah. But
he's
stop.
Thinking like it's like it's speed rules or something. No, dude, you can stop the car.
That wouldn't be future enough. So Scorpion fights his way into the cart and shoves Mako's boneless mannequin body out and underneath the cart. As the poor cart struggles to have the horsepower to hop over the dummy.
Yeah. It just kind of drug him along there. Like, it was kind of weird.
Fred lets loose with another arrow to the neck of a Templar, blowing him up and sending his head flying in the air. Another satisfying effect.
That one was so good.
Scorpion
like his whole thing is fucking like retarded, but it's very satisfying.
Yes. What a dumb character, but God, did I love every second he was on screen.
Oh, yeah. Dumb character, dumb weapons, dumb everything, but Jesus.
So
it's exactly what we needed.
Yeah. Scorpion pulls up to the last living Templar, real calm and friendly like, and tells him to take Mako's body back to one as a message. Mako's body's laying in the middle of the field, all folded up like Peter Griffin.
It's got that one arm coming over the back.
Yeah.
Fred mysteriously vanishes as Scorpion drives away. He pulls up to a lake and goes to the edge of the lake to get water. Fred pulls up and approaches him. Scorpion accuses Fred, we find out his name is Nadir, of taking his sweet-ass time, and Nadir delivers all of his lines as if he's doing Shakespeare in the Park, and it's great.
Yes.
Was he supposed to have an accent?
He's the only person that talks this way, and I wouldn't have it any other way.
And for some reason, it's like Scorpion hates this man. But yet all he does is save his ass.
Yep. Well, that's why he's making him look bad. He's supposed to be the protagonist here.
I think Scorpion's got a touch of the racism. Because like this man saves your life, and he's kind of like, get away from me.
It's tragic. It's tragic.
This watering holes for us, not you. Like he's a racist.
Nadir just wants to be his friend, like super hard. Just wants to be friends. And Scorpion,
he's like the nicest guy in the Wasteland. Yeah.
He's like, hey man, you want to just like hang out and kill Templars and stuff? And Scorpion's like, no, I work alone. Yeah. Like
I'm alone and Dottie, a rebel. So, the woman, Alma, we find out her name is, raises a gun to Nadir as he checks her out with his scope on his bow. Alma just can't hold the gun up any longer, though, with her injured arm. Nadir says he spotted a caravan that might be able to help her. Cut to the Templars. Funeral proceedings are underway for Mako, where they lay you out in your formal codpiece, and that alone, on a silver lawn chair with the cushions off.
It's got like a bow tie on it.
They put you on a silver lawn chair with the cushions off, head resting on a thermos. One says that they will show Mako's followers no mercy as they broke the Templars' rules. But one promises Mako 10,000 stupid lives, since he was the chosen one and deserves at least some honor in death. Hate and exterminate, which is the Templar credo.
Beautiful ceremony.
Yeah. One tells Shadow that he alone will be the one to get vengeance against Scorpion. And one lights Mako's funeral pyre and shifts his stare to Mako's little friend and shoots him dead. Cut to a new group of survivors working on a transmitter of some kind. Charlie is upset that it doesn't work, and some smart-ass kid tells him to write a complaint to the electric company. An old man, let's call him Captain Obvious, explains to the young lad that the world ended and the electric company doesn't exist anymore. Thanks, old man. So, we see that this is a much larger group than before, with many more mid-1980s silver sedans for walls. A man that everyone calls Father thanks God for his soup, and when someone picks up a signal in Morse code, it's definitely coming from other people, and it could be within 10 miles. Father proclaims that they're saved. Saved! Unless the poor bastards broadcasting the signal are as bad off as you are.
Now, I went through the trouble of decoding the Morse code.
Oh, Jesus.
That was sent. Would you like to know what it said?
Go for it.
Guesses?
Obviously. Got meat, got beef?
No.
Okay.
This is Morse code.
Come on now. Jesus Christ. Was it someone named Morse code?
I don't know. I just made that whole thing up.
Yeah, they got a guy named One.
Yeah.
So maybe there's a guy named Morse code.
So Scorpion and Nadir arrive, and they're greeted by the Father. Nadir is worried that they'll open fire upon them because they're just so damn scary. Scorpion decides to find out by walking right in. And the Father approaches them, and Scorpion asks him to help with Alma's broken shoulder. The Father agrees, but he refuses any payment for his help.
I like how everybody's so cautious. But, like, whoa, we don't know who these people are. And all he does is walk up and say, yeah, they're okay. Like, there's no screening process whatsoever.
He did an ocular pat down. He's fine.
No wonder everybody dies.
So Nadir,
this is the part where they reveal that nobody remembers who God is.
Yeah.
Except for this group.
Yeah, Nadir explains that these people are from the sect and believe in something called God. 9 years.
It's only been 9 years. All of you were alive.
Yeah, nobody remembers God, but they know about the Templars and Moses and all this other stuff. Yep. What a Bible is.
Yep. No, that was just a book.
So stupid.
According to one, that was just a book and it started this whole mess.
And where did that point go? Like, what does that have to do with anything that happens in the movie?
Had nothing to do with
it. Maybe it was everybody forgot what God was, and somebody found a Bible and was like, what the fuck is this? And, like, that was it.
No, don't put any thought into the fact that it was a Bible that he said, these things started this whole mess. No. He could have been holding up Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban. It did not matter what he was holding. They did not put that much thought into this.
He didn't even specify, like, it was a Bible, but he just said books did it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah, he would have said, he would have said, this book was the cause of it all. Okay, now we got some backstory here. But no.
Yeah. It was just books.
Yeah. It was a copy of Windows for Dummies, and that was it. So, Nadir warns them about the coming Templars, but Father says that they cannot leave for a couple of days since their power wheels need to charge. I mean, their trucks are falling apart.
Yeah.
So a woman named Vinya approaches Nadir, and Father says that she will take care of anything they need. Fred gets it.
Oh, yeah.
Hell yeah.
He all but looks at the camera and winks.
Which he could have done it, and I wouldn't have been mad.
Yeah. He could have just pulled the full Ferris Bueller and just looked at the camera like, did you hear that? So, cut to Alma, who's being creeped all over by this guy named Wiz. He tells her that he has no medical training or any kind of training, but he's the one that pulled the doctor/mechanic out of the job hat post-apocalypse, so what are you going to do?
I have no medical training whatsoever, but make sure your titty hangs out your shirt a little bit.
So Scorpion tells Alma that he's got to go because he's only going to draw the Templars to wherever she is. Meanwhile, Nadir is being taken care of by Vinya. He asks her if she does the deep concentration service. She says that
Demolition Man shit. Like
she says
I'm embarrassed to say that went over my head, and I was like, what's that about? Like, I didn't know what they were talking about.
She says that she does, but not often, as most of the men in the camp have already paired off. She says that her biorhythmic concentration is a little rusty, but old Fred don't mind that, baby.
Yep.
She lays down on a
robot or something.
She lays down on a match. This woman does. Okay, yeah, you're fine. Yeah, I'll tell you why she talks like this. Because in the future, there's these women that apparently just, force themselves comatose and let the unwashed scavengers of the wasteland just plow away at them for a little while. That's what this is. Because she lays down. Yeah.
This caravan may be heading to the next city, but me and you are going to Pound Town.
Yeah, she lays down and she has to warm herself up some kind of way by going into this deep concentration, and she decides that they should chit chat for a bit, and she tells them that she's from Dallas 5. Oh God, there's 5 of them now.
Well, not anymore.
Yeah, not anymore. She reveals that her people were damnationists, and they were ready for the nuclear holocaust, and that that they were led to safety by their leader Moses. And she enters the beginning phases of whatever this is, and Fred decides, well, time's a wasting, so let's get to it.
Good old Fred.
Yeah,
he would have warmed you up, baby. I know Fred's a generous lover.
Yeah. You don't have to self-induce a coma with me.
Yeah, the nicest guy in the Wasteland.
So, later, one of the Templar scouts finds the Father's colony and goes back to report. Scorpion enters Vinya's chambers to find her and Nadir in bed. Scorpion tells him that he's heading out, and Nadir's like, okay, see ya.
Yeah.
And Scorpion just kind of hangs around, staring at him. Bye. I don't know why that needed to be a thing.
He wants nothing to do with them most of the time, but when he's laying there naked, he can't get enough.
That's what it is. That's what it comes down to. You know what they say in the schoolyard? If they're picking on you, it means they like you.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
you know what? This movie got another fold, and it's beautiful.
Yeah. So, Scorpion heads out and is set upon immediately by the Templars. He pops the trunk and fires the car's ass rockets, taking out the only non-golf cart Templar. Oh no, their best one. And it's during this scene that I can see why George Miller used so much fast motion in the original Mad Max franchise. Because watching these cars go by at normal, safe for stunt speed is just silly.
It is.
Well, George Miller, they were still going really fast in Mad Max, though. He did enhance it, but they were also going fast.
Yeah.
And he shot it in a way that made it look like they were going faster than they were.
Yeah. Not like this, where they're clearly doing 30 at most.
Yeah. Is this... Wait, where are we? We're not at the chase yet, are we?
This is one of them.
Okay. Well, they show... Is this the one where they show Scorpions like...
Will they show the odometer? No, we're getting to that.
Okay.
That's coming later. Yeah. Well, don't worry, I'm going to point that out. So, Scorpion wipes out when he hits a roadblock of one and the other Templars. One blasts the hood of Scorpion's car, disabling it, and they take him captive. That night, the Templars have Scorpion strung up and ready to be ritualistically sacrificed with this ceremonial shard of plexiglass. Okay, now, let's break down the next few seconds of this. One walks around back of Scorpion, raises the plexiglass knife, says that he is the high priest and executioner of his initiation, and with one violent downward thrust, cuts the ass off of Scorpion's pants, and his butt just kind of flops out. When it happens and Scorpion shoots a look back, it was like, what the fuck was that? Like, that wasn't supposed to happen.
You guys feel a draft?
I think a collective went through all three of us when we saw that too.
I was actually a little bit prepared for this.
The ass of his pants just flies off like it was Breakaway.
Yeah, it was amazing.
All pants of the future are made like that.
Yeah. Removable butts.
And then one drops his codpiece as the subtitles say, eerie whirring, oh god, that fucking samurai got a whiff of the sex stank in the air. Shadow approaches from the front, and I thought, oh Jesus, they're gonna spit roast the poor man.
They're gonna check him to be airtight.
This scene's going downhill fast for Scorpion. Shadow...
Scorpion's afflicted with the madness.
So Shadow pulls a cable that forces Scorpion to bend over.
They got him like tangled up in a Bowflex.
Yeah.
So they're saying this is the initiation. So like, are they gonna make him a Templar?
I don't know, because he's an ex-Templar. We know
all
that.
All of them have to do it?
I'm going to touch on that. So okay. Just then, one thrusts up behind Scorpion, and his eyes go wide as there's this stupid synth wah-wah guitar sting that's just the cherry on top of this stupid scene. He bangs into him, and he just goes, wow! So that's when this got me thinking, okay, if this is what happens to disgraced initiates, what did Mako have to do to become the chosen one?
Oh boy.
That's why his hair was standing on end.
Yeah. I didn't know that he was a former Templar. I must have missed that part.
Well, they were talking about how he chose not to be a Templar or decided to leave or something at one point.
Yeah, he left them.
Yeah.
Okay. And that's what made them look so foolish.
So the punishment for leaving is rape, or is it the initiation is rape?
They rape you back into the club.
Then why were they so upset when the world raped itself?
They don't seem to have a big problem with it.
Well, this is him getting vengeance by raping back.
And then, and then I started thinking, like, maybe their cause does make sense because they want to wipe out all of existence.
Yeah.
So maybe by all of them just like doing each other, like they're not going to make any more kids. So that helps, I guess.
Yeah. There's maybe some kind of logic there.
And like the man pile on South Park.
Yeah, I was just gonna say like that. Everybody back in the pile.
Yeah, so I was a little bit prepared for this because it was mentioned in some of the reviews that I was reading.
Okay.
And they kept referring to the Templars as like a gay cult, and I was like, I mean, if this is gay, then like every job interview I've ever been on was gay.
Oh man. So
well, don't feel too bad for old Scorpion because he's gonna get one back in the end.
Oh, foreshadowing. So the raping is interrupted by a Templar scout reporting that he's spotted the biggest caravan they've ever seen. So one orders out the troops and tells Shadow to finish off Scorpion.
I got a good chuckle out of that one.
Yeah, I think we were all probably all on the same page.
Yeah. Shadow takes the opportunity to delegate and tells the other Templars to finish him off. And
they all just kept leaving. I thought they were just gonna they just keep passing the buck until they all just left and Scorpion was left there by himself.
He's just there, ass blowing in the wind, just hello.
Kind of feeling real unattractive because nobody wanted to finish him off.
Not even a reach around?
Like, finish him off. You do it. Well, what the hell's wrong with me, fellas? In good shape.
But 3 Templars do wind up staying. Later at sunrise, Nadir is cruising the countryside when he spots the Templar raid leaving. He goes to the deserted Templar base as the remaining guards take Scorpion out of his bang harness. Nadir spots the Templars dragging Scorpion behind a vehicle, so he knocks up an arrow. He equips a blue arrowhead this time and lets it fly, striking the ground in front of a biker and blowing him up. Then he switches to a red arrow, which he shoots and blows up the head of another biker. So blue arrows are for blowing up the ground, and red are for blowing up people, as far as I can tell.
This entire time, all I kept thinking about was wondering whether Scorpion's butt cheeks were still out.
Me too.
I was like, are those butt cheeks still out?
Did they pick up the flap and do the snaps back on?
Look, we're about to drag them through the field, so let's make them presentable first.
Yeah. I mean, you use a big acrylic knife. I figured that pants removal was permanent.
Yeah.
Somebody's like, you don't want your ass hanging out in front of God and everybody. Who's God?
Who's that dude?
Yeah. So the Templar driving the car stops and gets arrowed in the chest, which promptly explodes in a wonderful fashion again.
Hell yeah. Dummy Game is so strong in this movie.
Yeah. Nadir goes down to Scorpion and helps him up. The Templars, at least, this is where we see that they had the courtesy to put his ass cover back on. Back at the camp, the Templars arrive. The survivors scatter to their stations as Alma runs out to see what's going on, and she has to consistently run with her arms folded up around her, otherwise her tits would just come flying out of her ridiculous outfit. The Templars surround the camp. Meanwhile, Nadir is taking Scorpion back to the kid to get his car repaired. Nadir gives Scorpion hell for getting raped, and the kid joins in on the fun, making fun of him.
Not cool, guys. Not cool.
These wounds are still fresh. We cut back to the camp to see it completely decimated. Shadow's walking through the destruction. He worries that Scorpion may have escaped, because, he didn't stay behind and kill him like he was told to do.
He was supposed to kill him when he was staying behind?
No, he was just supposed to finish him off. Yeah. So one lines up the father, Alma, Wiz, and a few other survivors against the wall. Later that night, the kid is still repairing Scorpion's car as he practices drawing his gun, and Nadir teaches Scorpion to use his anger to achieve victory. Did we cut to the next day? This is moving really fast. Shadow sends some men out to see what happened to Scorpion. One sits in a tube listening to some NPR getting blazed.
I tried to figure out if this was a poem or something that we should know, but I couldn't find anything on it.
It was bullshit.
Yeah.
Scorpion, car now fixed, is headed out to seek revenge. Nadir insists on joining him even though Scorpion is reluctant to have any help of any kind. The kid reveals some kind of a big-ass drill he's been working on and tells Scorpion that he needs to be more of a bastard to win. He also reveals...
What's that supposed to mean?
Yeah. He also reveals a glass that can withstand Nadir's exploding arrows. We're going to use this some kind of way. Back at the camp, one is preaching to the people of the sect when he's interrupted by a car with 3 Templars plowing into the camp. Shadow believes it to be the men that he left with Scorpion, but finds that all the men are dead with arrows in them and their cheeks have been shot off.
By the way,
these men have no cheeks.
It just hit like the kid standing behind the plexiglass that wouldn't get blown up. I just realized that and the thing at the end are related.
Yes.
Like, that just hit me.
Oh, Blake, you're going to be surprised to find out that 3/4 of the movie was a dream. So, Nadir then attacks, blasting the Templars with arrows. The kid joins in with his slingshot as they pick off Templar guards. Scorpion then appears in the smoke, complete with a new stylish poncho. And this is where I started thinking, wait, are they going to fistful of dollars this whole fucking movie? Does he have a bulletproof plate of glass under there? It's safe to assume that at this point, as the blatant ripping off of Sergio Leone commences.
It was still pretty radical, though.
Yeah. One and Scorpion stand off, weapons at their sides. They circle the camp, staring each other down for what seems like an eternity. And, when Leone makes a standoff last for 5 minutes, it's done artfully, with interesting compositions and subtle underlying storytelling with the character's body language and glances. This is just a waste of time. So, one pops out and shoots Scorpion in the chest, and what do you know? It has no effect. I'm so surprised. He rips off his poncho and...
Whoa.
Not what I was expecting.
Not at all. He's even wearing it in the picture for the cover art, and I was still like, whoa.
Instead of having just a plate of the indestructible glass under there, he has a ridiculous translucent Michelin Man suit of armor underneath.
Immediately I was thinking about Immortan Joe from Fury Road.
Yeah. The clear thing. Yeah.
But I also thought about that woman in the beginning that had the bubbles over her boobs. Were her boobs the only thing protected on her body?
Gotta protect them titties in times like these.
Oh, yeah. We only have so much of that translucent vibranium. You got to put it over the important parts.
Yeah.
But however, he forgot to cover his most vulnerable spot, his cheeks.
Right.
So the trio continue picking off Templars as they stand around, not firing a single shot back at them. Shadow calls out to Scorpion, questioning if he actually cares about these dregs of humanity he's trying to save. Shadow threatens to shoot the father if Scorpion doesn't drop his heat gun. So that's it. It's a heat gun. Okay. So it's just giving everybody sunburns on their cheeks and whatnot. They're all heat guns, from what I can tell.
Sure, whatever.
So one takes the opportunity to escape. Shadow tries to shoot Alma when the father jumps in front of the blast. Shadow starts executing all the survivors just willy-nilly, while Scorpion faffs about somewhere in the junkyard, letting his friends die in droves. Another long game of cat and mouse plays out as Shadow hunts for Scorpion. Scorpion spots him and blasts him in the face. My cheeks, no! The Scorpion and Nadir take out the straggling Templars as the Kid and Nadir take out the straggling Templars as Scorpion takes off after one. Nadir then goes...
Kid, what is the Kid? This is back to what the Kid is shooting.
Yeah.
Right. Because, he is just whipping whatever into necks, left and right. Yeah. Everyone's neck is getting annihilated by this Kid. And I don't know what he's hitting him with.
It's effective.
Yeah. Amazing accuracy, too.
Yeah.
Just necks.
So, Nadir goes hunting down one of the last Templars to some not-so-great synth music. I wasn't that into this one. Yeah. One of the Templars is going to get the jump on him, but Nadir casually tosses an arrowhead back into the Templar's hiding spot, and he's blasted out of the back in rags.
Yeah, it's awesome. It was awesome. His helmet came flying out, too. It was so good.
Nadir plants an arrowhead as a trap in the ground and blows the holy hell out of some more Templars that come running around and step on it. Mm-hmm. Everything Williamson does is great.
Why do we even have to have Scorpion in the movie?
Yeah.
Yeah, get him the fuck out of there and just make it about Nadir.
Templar's dead, the job completed. Nadir and the Kid exchange the traditional Wasteland currency of slapped hands. Meanwhile, Scorpion's in hot pursuit of one. And this is where his odometer says that he's going up to 246 miles an hour in overdrive. And there's no way in hell any of these cars are doing a quarter of that.
No.
They show a wide shot of the cars. It's going 30. And then it shows the speedometer going, it's 240 miles an hour.
There's rabbits clearly outrunning the cars in the background.
It's ridiculous. Even if it's in kilometers per hour, it's still absurd.
So, Scorpion catches up to one and deploys his secret weapon, a whistling, whirling drill bit. And in a moment of true symbolism, Scorpion drives the drill up the ass of one's car, straight through to one's actual ass. One screams out in pain and collapses on the wheel. His car, out of control, careens into a quarry where it smashes on the rocks and explodes.
The Scorpion rules of the Wasteland are a butt for a butt.
As it says in the Bible that we've all forgotten.
So Scorpion returns to his destroyed camp and meets up with Nadir and the Kid. Nadir asks where Scorpion's headed to next, and he replies, somewhere you're not. Jeez. Asshole.
I'm heading to urgent care to get my asshole stitched up.
And Nadir responds, maybe yes, maybe no. Then Vinya emerges, unscathed, and offers her help to Nadir again. She's ready for it. Even professional coma-induced sex workers get the dick madness, it seems, when Fred Williams is concerned.
Well, who could blame her?
So, Alma and the Kid approach Scorpion. He takes the Kid's hand as the score synths up and the credits roll. And we get the pleasure of staring at Scorpion's stupid face for the duration of the entire credits.
They couldn't put in another shot of something else? Halfway through?
Nope.
Did Scorpion, adopt the Kid at that point?
No.
Yeah, the movie just kind of ends.
What an asshole. Kid was living on his own forever.
Yeah.
Now you give a shit?
Everyone died except for Scorpion, Nadir, Kid, and Alma. They didn't save anyone.
That's true. That's true.
They did the Templars' job better than the Templars did.
You know what? You're right.
They killed everybody.
Well, okay, so then there's this thread about the signal that people keep finding. That's not dropped important. Completely.
Not important.
This is the big flaw with the movie.
The signal was coming from God, and everybody forgot who he was.
That's why they needed a million megawatt radio. They had to reach all the way up to heaven.
It turns out God's real name is Morse code, and they just thought it was a dumb message.
What the hell is this? Oh man, good movie.
Yeah, it's a contender. But before we do that, we got to do some bonus questions, John.
Oh, geez. Yeah.
Let's see what we can get here, because we're frighteningly almost tied up.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah. Well, I got a few here. I got to see which ones. If I should go more difficult, more easy. All right. You guys ready?
Yep.
Yeah.
All right. What is the makeup of the automobile makeup of the Templar gang in the beginning of the movie?
The what?
The what?
The like, how many vehicles do they have? And what kinds?
Okay, how much of that quantifies a correct answer?
All of it?
Jesus Christ. Y'all give me shit about my questions.
What?
Those days are over.
How many vehicles and what kind?
No, it's fine. We got it. Go ahead.
Yeah.
And what is again, in the opening scene, what is the call sign? They're calling out. That they're making the call. They're trying to get a signal. Their call sign.
Okay, I think I know that one.
Okay.
Oh, damn it. Crap. Only know one letter of it.
Okay.
Sorry. I've got to actually write my questions out instead of the
yes, you do.
the answer. I'm awful at this. All right. What is the vehicular makeup of the Templar party?
I put 2 motorcycles and 5 cars.
I put 2 motorcycles and 4 cars.
Oh, it's 2 motorcycles and 3 cars.
Oh.
Fucking shit.
That was a stupid question, John.
Why?
It's a very stupid question.
But the pen's in the professor's pocket is like...
Well, now we both have one stupid question on our phones.
Okay. Moving on. Move to the one that I know.
What is the call sign?
XJW.
Yeah, I just knew it was W because he waited so long to say W after he said whatever else.
XJW is correct.
Woohoo! Well, John, if you get one next week and Blake doesn't, this was all pointless.
And that's what we strive for here on Garbage Theater.
Me and Blake are currently tied with 4 bonus points. John has 3. Oh, Christ. It's going to work out that way. You know it is.
I hope so. Just for stupidity's sake.
Oh, man. Okay. Well, with that, we now move on to Coming Attractions. Our last Coming Attractions of the season. As I came in 3rd last season, I get to close out this season with our final movie. And I had a humdinger. And stupid Amazon took it off, and I can't find it anywhere else. So drastic measures had to be taken. And guys, there's no easy way to say this, so I'm just going to say it. We're watching Atlantic Rim 2.
Oh, what the fuck? Come on.
Atlantic Rim 2, Resurrection.
That's streaming?
Yep. Well, it's on YouTube.
Oh, okay.
Made in 2018. Nice and fresh. 1.7 on IMDb, 1.5 on Amazon, and a surprising 50% audience score on Rotten Tomatoes. So 1 out of the 2 people liked it.
Yeah.
Tagline, metal versus monster. Directed by Jared Cohn, who also directed Little Red Riding Hood, Halloween Pussy Trap,
What?
and Street Survivors, the true story of the Leonard Skinner plane crash.
Well, I guess they did survive on the street. They just didn't survive in the air, right?
What a pedigree.
Starring Steve Richard Harris from The Young and the Restless, Zavi Israel, who did various stunt work on Chicago PD, and Jenna Enns, who's been an assistant costume designer on many of things. They just needed some actors fast.
Yeah, they couldn't get the original cast back.
Nope. This fits perfectly into our part who category.
Well,
of movies that couldn't retain their initial stars.
The only damn good question is whether Green is back, but I guess not.
Nope. Storyline. Mech bots with even bigger and badder weapons than their predecessors.
Wow,
so not hilariously small. Attempt to stop biomechanical monsters from descending on the East Coast, but the monsters are stronger too. Runtime, 1 hour and 26 minutes. Plot keywords. I'm going to go with John's thing because it is a good thing. Plot keywords. Sequel, mockbuster, poison gas, CGI, and F-word.
I didn't know there was a term called
keyword.
mockbuster. I love it.
So
yeah, I don't know if Asylum refers to them that way or not, but yeah, that's commonly a term applied to their movies.
Yeah. Trivia, just one little thing. Set in Florida's Atlantic coast, the movie is clearly filmed in Southern California due to the many mountain ranges in the backgrounds of all the shots.
I don't understand
what shit right.
I know, what the fuck is happening? They filmed the other one in Florida. Why can't they get Florida
back to the same spot?
This is probably a completely different production house, a completely different team of people. So that base was wise this time. They're not letting them back on again.
The Seville Quarter was like, all right.
Yeah.
Y'all ordered all those drinks and left $20. Y'all ain't coming back in here.
Reviews. This movie must be banished.
Banished?
This is a joke, right? And my favorite, so bad I want to start a GoFundMe so I can personally take legal action to shut this studio down.
Shut it down.
Oh, man. We were going to watch it at some point. We might as well just get it over with.
I was never going to pick it.
I would have picked Independence Day before I would have picked this one.
Oh, Lordy. So, yeah, Atlantic Rim 2 will be the final movie of Season 3 and the deciding factor of the bonus points.
Man, we'll have watched an entire franchise this season.
Amazing.
Yeah, that's never happened.
Yeah. Oh, boy. Okay, well, on that note, I'd like to thank everybody that's been listening. If you can, drop us a review on iTunes. We would very much appreciate it. You can find us on Facebook at facebook.com/Garbage Theater. You can find us at Twitter at Garbage_Theater and on Instagram at Garbage_Theater. If you'd like to reach out to us, if you have any questions, suggestions for movies, anything of that kind, you can contact us on any of those social media channels, or you can email us directly at garbagetheaterpodcast@gmail.com. Anybody have any closing anythings? Closing statements at all?
Get rid of them books, y'all, because the apocalypse is coming.
Stock up on those cod pieces and dryer hoses.
Get those cod pieces. Protect your dicks. It's happening.
Protect your butts. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, it was a blind spot for him. He had the dick covered, but that butt.
Should have stuffed that book in the back of his pants.
Oh, Christ. All right. On that note, folks, we will see you next time when we watch Atlantic Rim 2 Resurrection. We'll see you then.